How's it going, boys? So in today's video, we're going to be doing the first of many probably video collabs. With me today, I have here Matthew Farrahi, and he has a very interesting story with penis enlargement. He's somebody that actually put in a lot of time and efforts into it, and he gained over an inch, almost 2 inches actually. And he's also an expert on peptides, penis health, you name it. So I'm really excited to be talking to you today, Matthew. How's it
Yeah,
going?
definitely. Man. And then checking out your channel, like I thought I was into penis health, and then I saw your channel. I'm like, well, no, you're like this guy is like knows way more about penis health and just I actually learned a lot. It's actually kind of crazy. Like when you reached out to me, I'm like, oh, I already know you because I was watching your videos and actually learned a lot on how to have like enhance my penis health and my penis growth. So super cool, man. I'm really pumped, and I'm sure that my peptides can definitely help out your audience. I know you did a video on PT141, so
Yeah.
um, I'm sure both of our audience, man, could benefit a lot from this. Um, but anyways, man, talk a little bit about like who you are, man. I want to know a little about your background and just how you got into this.
Dude, honestly, I mean, if we're talking about penis enlargement and all that, it goes way back to like 12, 13 years ago when basically there was no companies. There was only like Pinimaster Size Genetics, Jess Extender, like those, the older companies were in the market. That's when I learned about stretchers, and I was really kind of like insecure about my size, obviously, like a lot of guys are. And I started looking into that, but I never really had the courage to touch on the subject, let alone show my face on YouTube. My parents are and my friends knowing that I'm talking about such topic. So yeah, so I did everything else, but eventually the funny part is like I was always passionate about it and I didn't do anything about it. And then when I did, that's when my YouTube channel like took off. Like basically all I had to do is actually talk about the stuff that I'm truly passionate about. And turns out a lot of other guys are. And yeah, that's how I'm here today.
Oh man, yeah, I kind of similar story, man. I've always just been really into like men's self-help and like
Yeah.
trying to become the most optimal man. And one thing is penis health, man, or penis size. And I was always insecure with my size, and I thought that's just how it is, man. Like I was born with an average dick, and I'll just have the rest of my life. But as I get deeper and deeper, into Reddit forums and like all these things, you realize, hey, it's actually possible to grow your penis. And then as well, so I started making videos on that, researching that, and just like you, people found a lot of interest in that. And as
Right.
well, I'm like, I don't know. I think this is like why don't more men know about this? Like it's possible. Like I was telling all my friends, they didn't believe me. I'm like, guys, it's possible to grow your penis. Like no one believed me.
Yeah, because
And
it's kind of like taboo, like, and the thing is that the scams online about growing your penis reach you much faster than the legit stuff, right? Because everybody saw those scams that you go on like porn sites, pills to grow your penis. So you kind of get saturated to that. You start ignoring it, and you basically block even the methods that might work. You're just like programmed already. Nothing works. It's all a scam, and so people just are not looking into that. And on top of this is it's not an easy fix. Like when you tell somebody, hey, for you to grow your penis, you gotta stretch for hours every day, put in the work. I mean, most people do not want to do that, right? Like everybody wants to be fit, but when it comes to going to the gym and training hard and dieting, like nobody wants to do it. So that's the thing is like it's something that takes a lot of work, but I think there's way more exposure to it right now, thanks to you, me, and other Reddit forums, and everybody that is recently starting to talk about it. I think it's going to gain more traction. Hopefully, help more guys.
yeah, literally gain more traction.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
No, it,
something is interesting about you actually that I couldn't. You're probably like the first guy that I know that have gained so much size from like the traditional devices with like that nose. So you said that you use size genetics.
Yeah, but I was for over 2 years, man, and I was hammering out like 8, 9 hours a day,
This
especially
is
like the first
mind
year.
blowing. This is like crazy.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I've always been with everything in my life, man. I've always been like not extreme, but when I do something, I do it hard. I do it like
You
all
go
the
all
way.
in, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like an all-in guy, and I just like I just remember, man, I learned about it, and pretty much I was in this. They said about 400 hours equals your first inch.
Right.
So I was just like, I'm just gonna go all the way in. And then one thing that actually helped me a lot was I realized probably like 3 months into my journey, I felt I wasn't doing that much traction. So
Mm,
I really like, made sure that like I would put my penis in there and it would almost slip out, but no,
yeah.
like, it would just be just enough before it slips out, and I would hold it in there. And also I was doing like weights and pumping and jelking a little bit, but like the first part of my journey was just only like length, and that's what I really focused on. And I
Yeah.
just did the all day stretcher, and yeah.
So you use the device, and how much traction did you use? Do you have any idea, like in terms of the tension that you're using?
So, dude, that's actually what confused me because the size genetics, it's like they said, like, make sure you have this level of traction. And like I had their device is kind of hard to like figure out the exact traction.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm pumped, man, about, I'm not for sure if you shared to your audience yet about like you having your own device, man, that make it
Yeah.
easier for people. Because I felt like the all day stretcher, man, I have it right here.
Yeah.
Like I felt like it was easy to apply and use, but it's hard to really determine like how much I'm doing.
Right.
But I just did it until I felt like I felt like a good stretch and just kept it there.
Yeah. So you didn't. I mean, obviously, with such device, you cannot do high tension because
Exactly.
now, like nowadays, that's the hype, which is like high tension, low time. A lot of guys are saying that they're getting results from it. I don't know the I don't know how accurate that is because, people claim a lot of things online. And when it comes to actual proof of like, well, how much size you gained, a lot of people would either say, I gained this size and then only show like the results photo. And they're like, oh, well, I didn't take the first photo or whatever. Or like the photos are not like, or they're not measuring the penis properly. So it's like, it's very difficult to kind of navigate through what works and what doesn't. Um, and and yeah, like people claim so many different things, and it's kind of difficult to get an accurate, method that works for everybody. And perhaps there isn't any. Perhaps like some method, like high tension, works for some people better than others. And then the way you did it, which is a lot of hours during the day, and from what I'm understanding, low tension, and that gained you like almost 2 inches, which is like insane.
I was also doing the weights. So I did weights for like probably like 6 months, probably. I was doing weights.
And how much weights and how long?
So I'll do 20 minutes, like three times a week,
Yeah.
at 2 pounds. And that was really intense. And then I was also doing the penis pump. I was probably doing that like in the height of like my because I like hit penis health really hard for like probably like 15 months.
Mm.
So and now I'm kind of like focused on different parts of my penis health, but I'm not as like hard about it because I feel like I'm at a good size where I'm happy and like I'm still growing, but not as intense. But I was doing like weights, I was doing pumping, I was
Yeah.
doing traction, a little bit of jelking, but like my penis got sore, man. So there's only so many things you can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Sure.
probably 70% of my growth was from like what I was doing with the traction device, and
Mm.
then probably the other 30% was like pumping and weights.
Got it. Okay. So, but from the weights that you're saying, so 2 pounds is still considered like low tension because like some guys are like stretching with 10, 15, 20. Like,
Dude, I don't know how people do that because like when I got the Zen hanger, I was using a Zen hanger.
yeah.
I did my first pound and I was like, okay, wow, this is like I'm not used to. And then I did 2 pounds. I'm like, damn, like those ligaments, I can like feel it, man. And then like, because my package went up to 6 pounds. I'm like, I can't do. I don't know how people are doing 6 pounds. Like that is just like That's dangerous, man. Because I've actually worked with clients that literally has like injured ligaments in their penis, and like now they can't get hard. So like that kind of scared me a little bit. Um, so I kind of stuck away from that. But also like I've always been my entire life like consistency and
Right.
finding like the safest but most effective way. Where that's why I like the all day stretcher because it's like you put it on, you forget about it, and it's like it's very hard to actually injure your penis with low traction.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I think
that
actually
was like
that's the right approach of like, which is why most people fail, in my opinion, is because they want the results now. And then they see somebody online that claimed, they got an inch in a month or whatever. And they're like, well, why am I not getting that? And then they forget that it's just like with weightlifting, is like, first of all, some people gain way faster than others, like way faster. And
yeah.
and also it takes time, and like most people are just, they don't have the patience to put in, you know 3, 4, 5, 6 hours per day for a few months, in my opinion. Like if you didn't put in like at least 6 months, you can't really judge. like imagine imagine you're growing, let's say, 1 millimeter per month, so that's like 10 millimeter, like half an inch per year, right? Like it's impossible for you to notice those results unless
Yeah.
unless like half a year passed, or 8 months or something like that. So like we're talking about really small gains, and especially when it comes to like if you're measuring while erect, peanut, like the erection quality can really affect your measurements a lot, and it varies between day to day. So
Yeah.
it's kind of tough to tell unless you give yourself enough time, and then you can know for sure.
And it's actually crazy because when I first started, so like I have a penis course, and like my first picture was actually after 9 months because when I first started, I like had no idea if it was gonna work. But I just remember like one day I was like, my dick looks bigger today. Like I just like started noticing. I'm like, wait, this is actually working. So like, but that was 9 months after using the device pretty much almost every single day.
Yeah, but the
And
thing
I
is,
think the
with your results, actually, even though it's 9 months, like you can still see massive difference between 9 months and then like 15 months, 2 years, like clear, like there are some results where like you see them and you're like, I'm not sure, like it could be erection quality, it could be like something else, but with your results, like a clear cut, like it's definitely like you gained massive amounts of size while using a device that nobody uses nowadays, honestly. Like when you told me that you're using it, I'm like, dude, how did you even manage to put it on? Like I had this device like, I don't know, 12 years ago, and I could never, like my skin gets stuck in those like in those what do you call them, the tubes that
oh,
connect.
like the little
Yeah,
little
exactly, under. Yeah, under, like where they go inside the plastic. Like I
yeah.
always pull my skin and it hurts like a motherfucker, so I could never make it work. So I'm surprised you managed to wear it for like 8 hours every day for 15 months or
It actually
something.
bumped me, man. Like this is kind of weird, man. I actually noticed like I would actually got like a little bit of like low back relief, man. My lower abs felt better, dude. Like my low back was feeling a little bit better. Just like because I'll be hanging it, like at least 6 hours a day. But yeah, it is wild, man. And also like sometimes my penis would get a little bit sore, but I would just use some jojoba oil and rub on it, the glands. But personally, I wish I had a better device because now that like you kind of enlightened me, man, all the other devices out there that are like
Yeah.
a way more comfortable, I was like, wow, like that could have made my journey a lot smoother. And who knows, man, even better gains. Like it really,
Yeah, I mean, there's an ocean of devices nowadays, and as we talked before, I also made my own device, which is I tried basically fixing every issue that I could think of that traditional extenders had, and with the help of people on my Discord, they were like suggesting different features. So we added like silicone padding, so it's like softer on the skin. You could actually measure the tension. You could go to higher tension. You can do this, the twisting. Uh, Really, like anything you could want from a device, I managed to kind of put it in one package. But granted, well, sure, you could do low tension with it, but it's made so that, you know, most people that want to do high tension, which, you know, it's can go up to 22 pounds. So
Whoa.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing that, but you know, if somebody wants to do just like 1 or 2 pounds, you can. But if you want to go 20, you also can. So it goes from so it goes from like beginner to advanced.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm really excited to actually try it out myself, man.
Yeah, I added you actually. We're gonna be shipping in a couple of weeks, hopefully. It's been like a long journey, adding different features and testing different prototypes. But yeah, I'm sending you one so you could test it out and let me know, give me some feedback, and if there's anything you think we should improve, perhaps in the next upgrade.
Definitely, man. So I want to hear a little bit about like your penis gains and your journey, man. And then I'll talk a little about, because we kind of were like back and forth on it, but I really want to hear like what you've gained from your penis growth and just like things you've noticed. And I'll do the same too.
Bro, the thing is, my journey is quite weird because, so what happened is, I come back, I was like in Thailand, come back to Ukraine, I unpack my stuff, and then I see the Penny Master, I had it there, and I was just starting my YouTube channel, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot, you know, I'm gonna try it on, see how it works, and I just used it for like a month or two straight, and every day it was like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max. And dude, I don't know, like maybe something's wrong with me or something is right with me, but I saw a gain of like almost an inch in this just short period. Obviously, you know, I'm not saying it was like permanent gains or anything like this, but still it's huge. Like the fact that, you know, I went from like 14 centimeters to 16, now 16 and a half, something like that. For me was just like mind blowing. So to be honest with you, before I saw those results, and not just like for me, I didn't even comprehend the results until my girlfriend actually told me. Like she's like, I'm actually like, it's getting uncomfortable. Like I'm actually feeling it way more. And so I was like, holy shit, like, is it like, could it possibly work? Like up until that point, I was not sure, because of course, like if you haven't seen the results yourself, you always question it. You're like, well, what if they're lying? You know, who knows? So then when I saw the results, I'm like, holy shit, like that could be a great idea for a video. So I shot the video. I remember shooting the video. I had the different Penny Masters, the basic one, the Pro, or whatever. And I remember shooting the video, editing it, and then putting it unlisted. I didn't publish the video because I was ashamed. I was like, how are people gonna respond to it? Like what would my parents say? Because my mom was subscribed to my YouTube channel. So yeah. So I kept it unlisted, and then I told my girlfriend that I shot the video, but I didn't post it. And then she's like, but why not? I said, well, I don't know. I'm kind of like ashamed. And she's like, well, come on, like what's the worst that can happen? Like what's the worst? Just like a tough conversation, like that's the worst that can happen. And so It made a lot of sense to me. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like whatever's going to happen, you know, just like, and I published it. And that's when my channel, like I actually started seeing, traction on my channel. Like more people started watching, the videos gained a lot of views. Because up until that point, I was talking about like lifestyle. The only time I touched about the penis was like when I got circumcised, and I talked about my experience. But it was like, I started the channel with like book reviews, lifestyle, relationship advice, and nobody cared. Like no one gave a shit. Like there was no views. But then I was like, hey, make your penis bigger. Everybody is watching. So I just kept talking about it and testing different devices, and yeah, and we're here.
So then would you say like your initial, So have you gained an inch so far? Like, what about like what results have you gained? And like, are you still doing like,
That's the thing is like after that inch, I haven't gained much, but it's only myself to blame because um, I've, dude, I haven't had a home for the past 2 years. Like I haven't stayed more than 1 month in a city for the past like 2 years. So I travel nonstop and sometimes like 2 weeks in a place or 1 week in a place. So it's it's really difficult to be consistent. I mean, I try my best, and even now, like I at least stretching an hour per day. But even then, it's kind of difficult to be consistent. The thing is that you motivated me so much, like when you told me like the results you've gotten by just putting in 8 hours per day. Now I started thinking about like, dude, how can I wear the device for like every awakening hour and perhaps while I'm sleeping too? Like what would happen if I wear the device like 16 hours per day? How how that can affect my and I started testing my device while sleeping, obviously at low tension, because high tension, it gets uncomfortable no matter how comfortable the device is. If you're pulling like 7 pounds against your body, you can like after a few hours, you're gonna be sore. So this doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm actually probably gonna test this method out, and like I think I'll make a video me using the device like 16 hours per day or some ridiculous number and just see what kind of results. But up until now, it's just like an inch, I would say, something around that. But that's about it. So you gained a bit more than me, but you also put way more hours than me.
yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely talk about, my size journey. But and also guys for reference, Basim has seen my penis.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of penises, so
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I do have a course on penis enlargement, and I do post my before and after pictures because that's very important, for people to actually believe. But
yeah, your course is actually pretty cool. I did watch pretty much the majority of it, and it's very interesting because you talking like obviously most guys, they just want to make their penis bigger, but you touch on every single topic about the penis, like in terms of food, supplements, stretching, hygiene, peptides. Like your course is like penis health in all aspects, even like circumcision or foreskin restoration. So you go cover pretty much all the topics that are relevant to penis health, and it's pretty intensive course. Like there's a lot of information packed into it. And like for me personally, I actually did already purchase one of the soaps you mentioned. I forgot what was it. Tactical
soap?
yeah, tactical soap. Yeah, I already purchased that. It's on the way. And yeah, I'm like researching a bit more about peptides. So there's a lot of things that I actually learned from you. Pretty cool course, honestly.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I put a lot of work into it. But yeah, that's kind of like I kind of share what I did on my journey. But yeah, I kind of I started with all day stretcher and the penis pump and the weights. I got all three at the same time. Mostly did just traction device, probably 7%, like anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a day. I did that for like 9 months. Well, I did that very consistently, man. 9 months mark, I really saw like my first, I'm like, oh, my dick looks bigger.
Yeah.
And then pretty much after around like 9 to 12 months, man, I kind of fell off on the weights and the penis pumps. I just like it's hard, man, to do. It's hard to do everything at once, man. Like that's just like, especially if you're like into self-development, you got like your workouts, you gotta like take care of your mind, you gotta like take care of your business, man, and then your penis, man. So it's just like it's so much. But that's why I really like the traction device because it's like I could multitask, I could work,
Right.
and I'm grateful since I have an online job, man. I can do it while I work at home.
Yeah.
So I kept doing that. And then I kept taking pictures, man. So I was pretty consistent with traction, man, probably for about like 2 years. And then around the 2 year mark, I kind of slowed down a little bit and I transitioned over more to really focusing on girth, man. But my final gains was at a 6.8 inch penis. I mean, and it's growing a little bit more now because I'm doing other things for it.
But
But it was
which size you started from?
5.1. So like I
5.1 to 6.8.
yeah, because I the thing of how I knew I remember like I like when I was in high school, man, I would like take my phone and my phone was smaller too, man, but like my dick was like would like never like it would never pass it would like never pass like it would never pass the phone, dude. It's always like down here. So like it was like I had like the iPhone like 9 or 8, man. So like it
Yeah.
was even smaller than this.
Yeah.
Um, but it was yeah, but that man that actually took like legit measurements, man, after and it was like 6.8. And even crazy, man. I remember like probably like 12 months into my penis growth journey, or maybe like 15 months, I like first time ever a girl was saying, "You have a nice penis." Like that has like never happened to me in my life, man. Like no one was ever rude to me. It was like you have a small dick, but like I just remember like I was starting to get like multiple compliments. Girls like, "Wow, your penis is so nice," or like, "Can I take a picture of it?" I was like, like I was like, wait, what? Like what's happening? So like that kind of really motivated me more, man, to keep going.
Self-esteem boost. Yeah.
And then now I've been like I kind of hit my size length, the length I want. Where
Yeah.
I think 6.5 is 6.8. I mean, I'm at 6.8 right now. I think that is like more sure is fine, but like most women don't want a longer penis than that because it starts hitting the
Yeah.
cervix. It just gets uncomfortable. But now I'm focusing mostly on girth, and that's crazy, man. I've been really focusing on jelking, and I have my first before and after pictures actually. So it's really cool to kind of like really see my dick getting thicker now.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you touch on that? Like how do you actually go about doing it? For how long? Which method do you use?
for jelking.
Yeah.
So first, man, I actually when I first learned about jelking, I didn't think that was that great, and actually didn't like it, man. But now, actually, it's my number one penis growth. I think it's the best thing ever.
Mm.
Because I think jelking, man, from my experience, so I've been pretty consistent with it for like 3 months now, three and a
Yeah.
half months. Um, I will say, man, like my dick is much stronger. Like I get much harder erections. It's like I just have like a super strong dick.
Yeah.
It just feels I get way more erections more often. And my dick is definitely thicker. But pretty much what it is, man, is just a penis massage technique. And there's many different ways of doing it, man. There's like the power joke, there's joke and hold, there's the reverse joke, there's the
Mm.
normal joke. There's so many different jokes, and it's cool because each type of joke will hit different parts of the penis. So, for example, if you want to hit more of the girth, you
Yeah.
do a reverse joke. If you want to do more of the strength, you do a power joke. But pretty much what it is, you just take here's your penis, and you want to be anywhere around a 20 to 80% erection strength.
Okay.
The higher intense erection, the more intense it's going to be. And a big mistake a lot of men make, they'll joke, man, at a way too hard and actually injure their dicks. And actually happened to me where I was joking too hard and actually like my erection was weaker and my dick looked smaller.
Mm.
So it's very important that you start slow and work up. But pretty much you just take an okay sign, you grip the take the root of your penis and you
Mm.
slowly drag up.
Yeah.
And this is just forcing blood into the penis and as well over time creating little micro tears. So I do it for about 25 minutes.
Mhm.
But pretty much like near the end of the session, man, your dick will feel like you got a good workout in. So and then there's like all different types of jelking, man. But the reason why I like jelking so much is that first it's free,
Yeah.
but as well, man, just like it has so many benefits. It makes you dig thicker, it makes you dig longer, it makes you dig stronger, it has better blood flow, you get more erections. Like it's just like an amazing workout for your penis. And I think sometimes these devices they will help with like the length or the girth, man, but they don't actually like make our dick stronger. I mean, some
Yeah.
do, but like junkie, man, I've actually noticed like my dick is like a lot stronger.
Mhm.
Um, so that's like, and that's what I've been focusing more on, man, is like I've been actually sticking away from doing less traction and less pumping
Mhm.
because jogging will make my dick girthier and longer.
Mhm.
And I feel I just get more out of it than the other devices. And it's
Right.
hard because people, like I think online there's like, oh, like buy this, buy this, buy this, but like Jelk is completely free, man. But the downside is that most men won't put the work in of like, because I do like
Exactly.
25 minutes, man. That's a long time, man. Like after a shower, just gotta Jelk it out, man. And like, I do like 3 or 4 times a week, and sometimes I don't want to do it, man, because it's like 25 minutes. But
Yeah.
the thing, man, is that once you joke, get to your length and girth you want, it's super easy to maintain. You just do it like once a week, and that's plenty to maintain all your gains.
That's pretty awesome, dude. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is like, well, people want the easy solution, obviously. So that like when you attach a device and you leave it on, it's much easier than actually taking your time and just jelking. And also people want the latest and most fancy device as well. You know, I personally know people that are just obsessed in buying every new device that is on the market, and you know it's just like buying your new toy, so people are really into that as well.
Yeah, and I think it'd be good to start, man. But I think again, man, I've tried a lot of devices, and I mean I think they're great. I think traction devices are great. I think pumps are great. Actually, I'm okay on pumps, man. Pumps are all right. I do think traction's definitely worth it, man. Like an all day stretcher,
Yeah.
definitely worth it, man. And then Jelking is, I don't know, man. It's just, but it's crazy, man, because like when I tell people, man, like my how much time I put in my penis, they're like, it's like, oh, like I've lived for almost 3 years, man, of a consistent work. And I literally tell people like my penis like growth plan is a 10-year plan. Like,
Yeah.
because pretty much after like I'll probably hit my girth gains, my girth goal in like probably 12 to 18 months.
Hmm.
And then I'll be seen on regrowing back my foreskin. And that takes about 3 to 5 years. So I've literally told people like I have like a 10-year plan, man, to grow my, to like have the dick I want. And I think when I tell people that and the truth of that, they get kind of turned off because, but the good thing is that I call it beginner gains. Usually like your first half inch to inch is the easiest to gain. Like
Yeah.
you're like, if that's all you want, just like 1 inch, that's like, you can get that pretty easily. But like, just my mindset and like my channel, I want exceptional gains, exceptional life. So like, I
Sure.
really wanted like the perfect penis.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the plateau, man, where you get your first inch and they kind of start slowly kind of, sinking off. But I think of it like, you wouldn't stop going to the gym, because like you got to take care of
Yeah,
your
yeah,
body.
exactly.
Things like good for your penis health, you want to have like good erections, good blood flow, you want to have a nice, thick, long dick, and like you got to be consistent with it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It just becomes a habit after a while that it becomes weird to not do it, you know? Like that's how gym is like for me. Like if I don't go, I feel sick, man. I feel like something's wrong.
I agree, man. Yeah, and that's how I feel actually. Like if I go a week without doing like any penis stuff, dude, I'm like, it's just like it's just like feels off to me. I'm like I gotta jog, I gotta do some kind of stretching or pumping, like something just doesn't feel right. Um, so
Yeah, so have you noticed like differences like from before? I'm sure you've been with girls before you started your penis enlargement and then after obviously. So have you noticed any difference in their response or in their
oh,
preference?
100%, man. 100 like it's crazy, man, because I've been focusing on girth recently. I've been noticing even more differences from women. So like when I first started, like when I was like, early, like, no girl would have an orgasm like from penetration sex with me, and like it wasn't bad sex, but like it was just, we're having sex. And then as I got probably over 6 inches,
Mhm.
that's when women were like, "Oh, like you have a nice penis, like it looks great." I could tell sometimes I'll be hitting their cervix, which that never happened to me when I was
Yeah, yeah.
younger. But then recently, man, I've been focusing because thing is like people who've seen my penis course, like I didn't have like the thickest penis. It was like I had like a very average penis. So now that I've been focusing on girth, just actually recently, man, like I've been getting closer and closer to women actually having vaginal orgasms with me,
Hmm.
just because I'm focusing on the girth.
Yeah.
And even too, I just noticed that like it just fills women up more. So definitely, man, like the compliments, the verbal responses, the pleasure from sex, man, like what they tell me, like it's definitely a difference. I mean, I think I'm almost at the point, man, where like it's the plateau, man. It's like if you're at 5 inches to like and you go to 6 inches, like girls will definitely notice that difference. If you
Yeah.
go up like if you go above like 6.5 inches, it's almost like girls don't like that. Or it gets some girls want that, but like for the most part, it just starts getting too big and almost painful. So I'm really trying to stay in that sweet spot where I don't want my dick. Pretty much, I think once I hit done with my girth goal, my dick will probably be about around 7 inches because Jelkin does help with length. But
Mm.
I don't want my dick any longer than 7 inches. I feel like for me, man, that's gonna be like a good length.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you actually. So you think that the ideal length is 7 inches?
So yeah, I've heard multiple like studies, man, and like I've read like I saw your video on it, and they were saying it's around like 6.5 inches of length and 5 inches of girth.
Yeah.
And then I've read this porn star, you know Sterling Cooper.
Yeah, sure.
So he did a video on it, and there was like another study done, and they did like all these women. They did like an insertion point, see which one most pleasure. And from his study, he said for length, it was 7 to 7.5 inches of length, and then
Mhm.
for girth, 5 to 5.5 inches of girth. So
Yeah.
that was like the perfect penis. But at the same time, I saw like the Tinder study, and they did like 6.5 inches of length and 5 inches of girth. So I really think the sweet spot, man, is 6.5 inches to
Yeah.
like maybe 7.5 inches, man. That's pushing it. I feel most women would be like, because me right now at 6.8 inches, like some women, like if I do all the way insertion, like they don't like it. Like it's almost too much for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and
so
also you gotta understand that, yeah, I think 7 inches is the max, in my opinion. Like I personally wouldn't want to go beyond 7 inches because sure, you're gonna really boost your ego and like be so confident, whatever. But in terms of practicality, you're just gonna women are just not gonna enjoy that kind of sex. And some guys might say, like, well, like girls can take 7 inches or whatever. The thing is, it it starts limiting the kind of positions that you can make because each position, dude, I can hit the cervix and I'm not that long in some positions, in like quite a few positions already. So if I were like 7 inches, then I'm hitting that almost in every position, maybe besides missionary. I don't know, but like some girls may not like it and they cannot relax if they know they're gonna be sore the next day, if it's painful. It just becomes not pleasure. It's just an ego thing. And so, yeah, I kind of agree with you on this one. I personally would say 7 inches is the max, but I don't say it's the perfect size. I actually like the perfect size. I would just go according to what women say because they know best. Probably like 6.5 in that range. But just mind blowing that a lot of guys in my Discord group and on forums, dude, like they're measuring over 8 inches, well over 8 inches, and they just keep going. Like they just like I'm like, where you want to go, man? Like what are you trying to accomplish? Like,
well,
yeah,
it's too, man, because like I think a lot of guys lie about their size, man. Because like I was telling guys, like, yeah, like I'm growing my penis. Like, why would you want to do that? I'm like, because I don't have the biggest penis. And they're like, well, yeah, I'm like 7 inches. I'm like, dude, like the average penis is like 5.5, like 5.1 inches. Like,
yeah.
how does every guy I talk to just have a massive dick?
Dude, everybody lies. Everybody lies. Trust me on this. Because you wanna know that they lie. Ask them for proof. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Ask them for proof. Oh, I don't have a photo. I don't have it right now. It got deleted. Like they'll come up with every excuse under the sun to not show the proof. Because like it's so easy to say I'm this and that. It's so easy. If I go under my videos where I talk about penis size, dude, there's always somebody claiming that he's like 7 inches or 8 inches or whatever. And like it's just text, dude. It's the internet. It's like you have no idea who's on the other side. And the sad part is like a lot of guys are seeing that and they compare to themselves and they feel bad about themselves. It's like as if the stats are incorrect. Dude, the stats, like coming from the latest video that I made about the doctor and the research that they did, the stats are the most accurate to reality because what they do is the patient is like they're actually giving the patient an injection that gets him erect, and then they measure. A lot of the times the patients are like not even conscious, like that's before operation or something like this, and they measure them or they do stretched measured. So and that's the doctor measuring, so they want to get it accurate, and we're talking about thousands of people. It's very difficult to kind of get thousands of people wrong and get the average wrong. So when like doctors say it's like 5.1 or whatever inches, that's the actual like average. And so if everybody is like 7 inches, then there's a lot of people that are lying. Like a
Yeah.
lot.
It was funny, man, because people would like shame me for like, was like, why would you need to grow your dick? Like, or like, I'm like, because I just don't have the biggest penis, man. So I was very honest, man, and I always like put my stuff out there. So um yeah, it's funny, man. So I want to hear in your own words, man, like what do you think is the best penis devices? Like if I mean, am I a beginner? I'm like, hey, I want to get into penis enlargement. Like what devices would you invest in and what would you do?
Dude, I kind of get heat for that because what works for me apparently does not work for other people. But I'll talk about my personal experience, and other people can agree or disagree. So when it comes, so every penis device comes in two parts mostly. So the part that sits on the head of the penis, which is the part that grips the penis, right? And then you have the rest of the device, right? So if we're talking about the device itself, I don't think you can get. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I don't think you can get better than Best Extender, which is the device that I made. But if it comes to the vacuum cups, you can get the generic vacuum cups, and we're selling those with the Best Extender. But for me personally, I really like the Pennymaster vacuum cup. Granted, I do not like the rest of their stuff because they haven't updated them. They're kind of outdated stuff. But in terms of like the vacuum cup, I think for me personally, the Pennymaster vacuum cup, and I would use it with Best Extender. That's the thing.
So that'd be your go-to.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's actually what I use pretty much every day. So, you know, that's what's comfortable for me. And some people, honestly, like if you're uncircumcised, you might not want to use the Pennymaster vacuum cup because it might suck in some of the foreskin and may not grip properly. So it really depends. But I started using it when I was already circumcised, so I couldn't tell the difference.
okay. Interesting. I would, yeah, if I was a beginner, man, I would do a traction device, but I would probably honestly, man, I mean, I haven't used your device, but when you tell me about it, I'd probably pick your device, man.
Yeah,
Just like based off like you saying like all like the mechanisms and just like you tested so many. So definitely some good traction device. Like I would do like low tension.
yeah,
And then Jelking, man. I feel like those two things would give you the most. And then if you do have some extra money, some high tension, but man, your device already has the high tension. So like I would play around with doing a lot of low tension with some high tension and Jelking. And I wouldn't really get a pump unless you really wanted them. I think they're like almost overrated in a way, a lot of ways.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but like I think for growth, man, traction and Jelking, man, I think like if you just do those things consistently, dude, you can
Get a
see
few results.
amazing things.
Yeah. So, dude, I checked out your channel and I realized that you're really uh, getting into the peptide things and testing different ones and how each one of them works. Uh, how do peptides actually help with penis growth or penis health? Do you know any that actually helps with that?
Definitely, man. That's actually similar to your penis with your channel. That's how with my YouTube channel. I made a video on peptides and people loved it. Anything else I talked about, they're like, So like I just started making a lot more video on peptides. But pretty much with peptides, what's so good about them is that they're signaling molecules. So they go up to your body and they turn on and off different pathways. So your
Right.
body's doing the work. So this is great, man, because a lot of like, let's say for example, testosterone. If you take
Yep.
testosterone, it suppresses your body. But
Yep.
there's peptides that can enhance your natural production of testosterone. So your body's doing the work. So it's much safer, has
Really?
much lower. Oh yeah, has much lower side effects, man. It's not as intense as like getting testosterone hormones, but you're still getting like if you have let's say you're taking like a normal like herbal test booster. Okay, that's like level one, and then
Yep.
peptides is like level two, where you get a bigger response, and then like hormone therapy is level three. But
Got
like
it.
that's why people peptides because it's stronger than most like supplements out on the market, but also much safer. And as well, it like actually enhances your body's production naturally in many ways.
Yep.
And with hormones, hormone therapy is like very, very strong, but it has a lot of side effects,
A
man.
lot of side effects, dude. That's
Uh,
why I stopped them. Actually, so which peptide? is helping with testosterone production?
So there's several peptides, but probably the most popular one is called Kispeptin 10. And I actually talk about this in my course because it actually helps with a lot of things. So Kispeptin 10 actually starts in your hypothalamus, man. It's called a puberty peptide, and all these peptides are found naturally. Most peptides are found naturally in your body. There are some man-made peptides, but this one is called Kispeptin 10. It's called a puberty peptide. It actually plays a major role for people who actually go through puberty. But pretty much it starts in your hypothalamus, and then it goes to your pituitary gland and tells your body to release luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, and then goes down to your testes and tells these testes to make more testosterone, more semen, and helps with fertility. So it's cool, man, because it literally starts the entire testosterone cascade, and your body's doing the work. And this is often paired up with like TRT, because since TRT suppresses you, Kispeptin will continue the entire testosterone cascade. So that's one, and then as well, there's one that's called DSIP, delta sleep inducing peptide. And this peptide is actually found naturally in mother's milks. Like, if babies drink it a lot, but helps a lot with sleep. But as well, this peptide actually, same idea, stimulates luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. So it helps with higher testosterone production, also helps with more growth hormone as well. If you're sleeping better, man, you're gonna have better hormones. And then there's peptides that are like the growth hormone peptides, which are like very, very popular. It's like probably one of the most popular peptides. But these peptides help with more endogenous growth hormone. And if you have more growth hormone, you're gonna be sleeping better, you're gonna be recovering faster. And all those indirectly lead to higher levels of testosterone. And there's some research that there is some direct correlation to increasing testosterone, but for the most part, it's like if you're sleeping better, you have higher muscle mass, you're burning more fat, like naturally everything in your body can be functioning better.
Yeah. What's the name of the peptide for the human growth hormone?
So there's tons, man. There's like so many ways, and this is where a lot of people get confused, not sure how to do it. And actually, I have a book coming out soon that it's really called Peptides Made Simple, and a course on it that goes really in depth into it. But pretty much the safest and the best peptides to get into growth hormone, man, is ipamorelin and then MOD-GRF. So MOD-GRF will create growth hormone, and then ipamorelin will release it. So peptides can be combined together, man, to have like a synergistic effect. And that's when it gets really cool, man, because you can like combine this peptide with this peptide with this peptide, and they come together and they create like a really cool response that you wouldn't have with just one of them.
So you actually mix them together when you inject them, or you inject separate?
No, you can mix them together, man. So their peptides are non-polar. So you can mix them together to make I call it like a peptide cocktail, man. So like sometimes I'll do a cocktail of like 4 or 5 peptides that like I combine together to make a really awesome stack.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm really you mentioned something about follicle stimulating something.
Yeah.
Follicle as hair follicle, or am I missing something?
I may be saying that wrong, but pretty much you have FSH and LH.
Okay.
Sorry, follicular stimulating hormone. It's pretty much these two, FSH and LH, pretty much tells your body to make more sex hormones.
Got it.
Before testosterone is made, you have FSH and LH, and then they go down and tell your body to make more hormones.
Pretty interesting, dude. I would love to have that list of peptides, because I tried taking testosterone, and I've seen a lot of bad results from it, like side effects. One thing is I got a lot of hair loss, so hopefully I stopped, and now it's kind of stopped the increasing the hair loss. But I also had a lot of other side effects from, I was more swollen. My face was way more swollen, which is like a normal side effect from it. But another thing, and it's kind of problematic, is when I used to get the testosterone from Thailand, granted, I used to get it from the pharmacy, but maybe there's something in it that my body does not like. But that was the only testosterone I could buy. And every time I would inject it, I would get really sick, like super sick, temperature, high blood pressure, fatigue. I can't do anything. So like anything that would give me the benefits of high testosterone without the side effects of taking hormones, that would be great. An example for that would be HCG, for example. Like that's something that I used as post-cycle therapy, and it helped me get back my natural testosterone levels And I actually tested, and I'm like right within the range right now. But the cool part is that I saw zero side effects from it, which is what I expect the medication to do, to just give the desired effect with pretty much minimal or no side effects. So if peptides can do that, then, dude, I'm going to go through your book myself and try to learn as much as I can.
Definitely, man. And I broke it down where it's like peptides for fat loss, building muscle, longevity, sexual health, immunity. And that's why peptides are so great, man. It's like they definitely do have side effects, but like
Yeah.
some do, but like nowhere to the intensity of like hormone therapy, man, or like
Yeah.
pharmaceutical medication. It's not, it might be like some water retention. It might be like feeling a little bit tired, or it might be like there's some peptides that are much stronger that can have like stronger side effects, but I personally don't use those myself and I stay away from those, but like bodybuilders will use them and stuff like that. But for the most part, man, a lot of peptides are very, very safe.
Yeah.
Um, so it's crazy, man. I'm still learning much more about it, but it's a huge field, man. Like anyone can benefit from anyone can benefit from peptides, man. Regardless if it's penis health, man. Regardless if it's like your hormones. Regardless if it's your immunity. Regardless if it's your sleep, man. There's peptides for everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty cool. And the fact that, it also can help penis health. Like I guess there's not a thing that, or maybe there is, that can help with penis growth or can enhance the process. I don't know.
Kind of, man. So I think the only way is because what happens when you have your all the penis stuff, chalking, traction, you're literally creating stress in your like, micro tears.
Right.
So the only thing that peptides can help with is faster healing time. So like for example, man, the growth hormone peptides and like the peptide BPC, they help a lot with recovery. So like if your penis is sore, man, then like potentially in my theory, man, then it could potentially help with like healing it faster and recovery.
Mm.
But really, man, I think the peptides shine when it comes to performance. So there's like a couple of peptides that I would recommend. I know you tried already one of them, PT1 for one. So like
Yeah.
PT1 for one, and Kispeptin 10, those peptides are commonly stacked together for sexual health.
Yeah.
Because PT1 for one, it works on your melatonin system, which
Mhm.
works on your nervous system to help with like blood flow, libido, arousal. And it's cool, man, because it can be used in both male and female. So like, which a lot of times, a lot of like sexual medications just for men, where
Yeah.
PT1 for you, and same with Kispeptin 10, they can both be used on both men and women. And I know you said you kind of had a weird experience with it, man.
Yeah, so the thing
But
is, when I took the PT1 for one, I didn't mention it in the video because the side effects like started happening actually after I shot the video. Um, so first time I took around 2 milligram, which you already said that was way too much. Like normally,
well, that's the average dose. So they recommend start with 1 milligram
right?
and like working up to 2 milligrams, never exceeding 4 milligrams. But usually a typical dose is 1 to 2 milligrams.
Yeah, so I did the first day I did 2 milligrams, and then the second day I did like five. And the first day, I might have felt something, but it was like very mild. Maybe my expectations from it was just too high. Uh, but then the next day when I took it, like I saw like clear as a daylight effects. I was just getting hard, like without even being aroused. Like I wasn't uh, watching anything. I wasn't like fantasizing about anything. I was just like getting hard, just sitting in hard, and I had like erections the whole night basically. Not wet dreams, granted. Like I didn't remember any wet dreams, but I was just hard all the time, which was pretty interesting. Uh, might have been like more sexual than usual, but then after that, I was feeling a bit nauseous, like from I guess the dose was too much. So I was feeling like a bit weak. I didn't like feel sick, but like I was not feeling myself. Let's put it that way. So I felt like something was off. So probably it was like too high of a dose. I should probably not get to that, but at least it works. I would love to try it next time with my girl around, but we'll see.
Definitely, and I think like, and that's the thing with like, I think there's like PT1 for one lasts up to like 3 days in your system, or it can be.
Really?
But yeah, and also like peptides will affect people differently. So like some people may get a strong response with 1 milligram, some people may do 2 milligrams. And as well, with PT1 for 1, I found that people feel them differently. Some people feel it within 30 minutes. Some people will take it and not feel it for like 8 hours later. So it's a little bit
Wow.
hard to play with.
Huh.
Um, but like PT1 for 1, man, that is a great peptide. Only thing is you can only take it like once or twice a week because if you do it too much, your receptors will get used to it and you won't get that effect anymore. So it's like it's good like 1 time a week. Kiss 10, that is gonna be more of like an indirect approach. It's gonna more help with your overall your testosterone, your libido, your fertility. It
Mhm.
won't give you like, oh, I'm gonna take this and get horny. It's gonna be more like over time, it will kind of help with that. And then there's a pep, and then also I recommend like the growth hormone peptides for sexual performance or just like penis health because if you're building more muscle, you're burning more fat, you're sleeping better, you're gonna naturally gonna be performing better in bed.
Yeah.
Like you're naturally gonna be feeling better. And then there's one peptide called VIP. And it's actually you can do a nasal spray with this, man. It's actually it's a vasodilator. So
Right.
actually helps with
Like
erectile dysfunction.
Viagra. Yeah, yeah.
So you should take it like right before sex or during intercourse. And it's just a peptide. But I really think probably the most common peptide is PT1 for 1 when it comes to like, sexual health. Also, there's melanotan too. Have you
Right.
heard of melanotan?
I've heard of it, but I never tried it.
Yeah, so melanotan too, it's commonly used for tanning, but as well, man, it can also work with libido and erectile. It actually works similar to PT1 for 1. So it works in your melanocortin system. So
Mhm.
melanotan too, it will have a slower response, but it lasts longer. So like your libido will slowly increase over time, but
Yeah.
those effects last longer. So you
Mhm.
have like a higher libido. It's more like where PT1 for 1 is like fast acting,
Right.
and melanotan 2 is more slower acting. But you can dose melanotan 2 in like a larger dose
Yeah.
and get like a much stronger erection. But one thing with all these peptides, what I see some people do, they either do way high of a dose man or they combine it with like Viagra or Cialis, and that can actually lead to like very like too much, where like you're having like a 4 to 6 hour painful erection. So it's very important you don't like overdo it. You start with less and kind of work up and kind of like listen to your body.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. So some peptides you're supposed to take, like the ones that are enhancing testosterone, you're supposed to take them on a daily basis?
So yes and no. So like some peptides, like Kiss 10, you can take like 3 to 5 times a week. It really, I mean, and this is the hard thing. So peptides are so new, and everyone responds differently to it. So like if you go to someone, any doctor, they'll always tell you something completely differently. So how I run peptides, my entire mindset has always been maximize the benefits with the lowest side effects.
Right.
And I think no matter what peptide you take, you should be cycling it off, and as well to have a long-term mindset because people want these benefits ASAP. But like peptides aren't this magic pill. You're gonna like take it the next day. You're gonna be like, wow, I'm super jacked.
Yeah.
It's more having that long-term mindset. So like for example, a Kiss 10, I would recommend taking it like probably 3 times a week for
Hmm.
1 month. See
Yeah.
how you feel a 1 month break off and repeat that. But like
Yeah.
again, having that long-term mindset that like, hey, I may be taking this peptide for 3, 4, 5 years. It's like if you're taking like a multivitamin,
Yeah.
you're gonna buy that consistently. Same thing with peptides, but peptides are just much more powerful than like a normal supplement.
Got it. Got it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna make a list and actually try them myself and see how I'm gonna respond to them, especially the testosterone one, because yeah, it helps a lot with building muscles and like with human growth hormone. Because I'm also like way older than. I mean, how old are you?
27.
27. Yeah, I'm way older than you. I'm like 7 years older than you. So like now, like after you push 30, like you start want to slow down time, and like human growth hormone is something that might enhance the skin and enhance the the physical appearance as well. So yeah, I would be really curious to look into that.
Yeah, man. I would so like the book my book's coming out in like a week and a half or so, man. But it breaks down all the peptides and then how to add them together. Like let's say your main goal is like building muscle
Yeah.
or longevity. I
Yeah.
go over the different peptide stacks, the pros and cons, side effects, all that, how to use them. I think I'll look into that because that would save a lot of time. But I think like just like a really good combo, man, for like any man watching this, and like I've done myself multiple times, is mod GRF
Mm-hmm.
ipamorelin, and then kisspeptin 10. So MOG-GRF and ipamorelin are big growth hormone peptides, and
Yeah.
then kisspeptin 10 is gonna be the testosterone peptide. And the crazy man, because like you can run all three of those peptides for around like maybe $50 a month.
Really? It's that cheap?
Yeah. Especially if you go through a research pharmacy, man. Like, and this is why it's so powerful too, man. It's like some peptides are more expensive, but like you're literally getting more testosterone and more growth hormone, man, for like $50. I mean, it depends on where you buy them, but let's say 50 to $80 a month.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I bought mine. It was pretty cheap, but I thought it was just like here where I'm at. So I didn't know that it's actually cheap everywhere. But yeah, pretty cool.
Give or take, yeah. But it's crazy, man, because doctors, if you go to like a compounding pharmacy, they will like upcharge you like dude so much. Like 4, 5, 6, 7 times more than like what you would buy at a research pharmacy.
Yeah, dude, even just testosterone, just to buy that, like if you go to some clinics, sometimes they charge you up to $200 a month, man. Just
Yeah.
testosterone, nothing else. For if you ask for a human growth hormone, that can be like up to 1,000 or something.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Gets very
It is
expensive.
quite a lot. But dang, man, this has been we talked about a lot of things. Is there anything else you want to cover, man, before we kind of close out
No,
the
I think we touched about a lot of things. Yeah, we've been talking for a while. We I think covered pretty much all the topics we wanted to talk about. If you're happy with what we mentioned, then we're all good.
Yeah, sweet. So if you guys watching, just if anything we missed, we want us to talk more about, comment down below. We're more than happy to make more episodes or go deeper into one topic, either penis health, peptides, you name it. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you sometime soon.
Awesome. It was really nice talking to you, Matthew.